I wasn't supposed to be at the school, but I went because my mom worked, and so I kind of just hung around the school. But I actually was 5, and I went to the little one-room schoolhouse that we had here. And it was just one room, and all grades was in that one room.
Miss Audrey Allen was our teacher. She was from Toccoa. There were actually 7 grades.
Yeah,
and
7
there were
grades.
Probably 15, maybe
15,
20
yeah.
kids. They were divided into grades.
And she taught, she took time with each grade.
And the younger kids were always in the front, and the older kids were towards the back.
This property held only one room schoolhouse. And we all went to school there until we had to go to Clayton Elementary, and then after that, our church was, the old church was right down the street, and it caught on fire and actually burned. So the Board of Education kept the school here, and they let Ivy Hill use the one-room schoolhouse for our church.
My daughters cannot believe that we actually didn't always go to school together. Whenever they first found out that we were integrated, they just couldn't believe it. They always thought we were always together. I said, no, we didn't. We actually were integrated in 1965, I think it was.
I was 6.
I was 7. It was scary.
Yeah.
I was a mama's boy, and I didn't want to leave my mother, and it was a different world.
Yeah.
Because everybody that went to school here with us, we all knew, and we were family. Like she's my niece, and most of the students were brothers and sisters, and nieces and nephews and cousins. It was scary. Just being around different people.
And they would only put like one black child in each class, so we kind of had to watch out for one another. We were all relatives, and we all tried to watch out for each other. But Keith he was, like you said, he was a mama's boy, and I was rough and tough. I didn't let nobody run over me. I would take up for all of them. It
was scary because a lot of the kids had never been around black people, and some of them were good. Some of them treated us real good, and we had a few that were mean, said bad things, and treated us bad. I remember one little girl, she and I would play together, and her sister came and told her, she said, "You know you're going to get in trouble. You know you're not supposed to be talking to her." So we kind of went through that kind of thing, in the beginning. And I think the teacher, she kind of tried to make sure that nobody, really bullied us a lot, but she couldn't be everywhere. So there was some moments. Even on the school bus, there was some times on the school bus that was unreal. We got picked on the school bus, and some bus drivers didn't care. I mean, they knew that the other kids were picking on us, and they would just look in the mirror and keep driving. I think some of them were job scared and was afraid that, And it was kind of like, at that time, it was a little clique. It was who you are and things like that. But we didn't have, we were raised to treat everybody right, and we wanted to play with them, but some of them would play and then some of them wouldn't. The first year I was there, Miss McCall was my 2nd grade teacher, and I think that was the only teacher that I came in contact with. But she was a good teacher. I had Miss Prater was my 1st grade teacher, and she was okay. She was a little older, so I don't think she really could handle it all. And it was new to her too, and she didn't really know how to handle the situation. And it was new, we didn't really see any of the white people. We had the truant officer, Mr. Weatherly, he would come over here. And that was the only, we would get books that the white kids had, then they were pages was out of them, and we always got the raggedy end of the deal. You know, we would get used books. Sometimes they didn't even have the pages, were torn out, and but that's what they would send. Here in Rayburn County, we got a good education. They would take you one-on-one and make sure you got it. I mean, you know, they would just tutor you or whatever had to be done. It was just scary. And then as time went on, it got better, but I think we got a real good education. Actually, I was the very first black Miss RCHS in 1977. And it had nothing whatsoever to do with beauty, not on the outside. I mean, I was just loved by all, and I was the very first black Miss Rayburn County.
I love it. I think the school system is great here.
All of my friends would come and spend a night with me, and I would go and spend a night. My best friends were all white. Yeah, we're like family.
Yeah, I have some friends that I knew when I first went to school, and I'm still consider them as.
That's why I am. We would walk up there. We would walk from here.
Actually a trail that went
through the woods.
Up to the
camp. We would walk up there, and she would have Kool-Aid and cookies. She'd tell us stories, and she would give us a silver quarter. But she was just a good lady. She always made sure that the black kids were taken care of. She really did.
The first job I ever had was working for her sister, Annie Laura Peeler.
That was her name.
And I used to go up on Saturdays, and I would work for her. I would plant flowers and dig up flowers, and I would put mulch around all of her plants. And then after she died, I worked for Miss Esther, her other sister, and they were just beautiful people.
And I'd go up there and help wash dishes and do things like that. She'd give me 50 cents or $1, and back then she was rich if she got that. Miss Lil showed love. I mean, you know, she was genuine.
She didn't see color.
She did not see color at all. She really didn't. And I mean, she made sure that all of us got Christmas presents. She made sure that we had food on the table. She was just a good woman. And she, like Keith said, she didn't see color.